From the city that never sleeps to the Motor City's might, two titans are ready to collide in an electrifying virtual showdown. Fueled by GOLFZON, GOLFZON Social from New York takes on Tee Times from Detroit at the world-renowned Spyglass Hill. Who will master the breathtaking coastal vistas and conquer the course's infamous challenges? The stakes are high, the tension is rising. This is the GOLFZON Tour. All right, let's take a quick look at how this bracket is shaping up this year in the GOLFZON Tour. Welcome into this epic match on the GOLFZON Tour. These players are taking on the golf course today, being none other than the iconic Spyglass Hill in Pebble Beach, California, where the sand meets the trees. It's Tee Times Detroit taking on the GOLFZON Social in New York City in Brooklyn. My name is Emma Carpenter. Very pleased to be joined by my co-host, Landon Ashworth. Landon, what are you looking forward to today when these two teams are facing on in opposing cities?
Bloodbath. I'm expecting a bloodbath tonight, Emma Carpenter. I think that someone may possibly lose the sight in their good dominant eye. Hopefully that's the right.
Or which dominant eye are you, Landon? Left or right?
I am right eye dominant, Emma. What a terrific question. You just rocket fired those at me anytime you are ready, because I am willing to go under the gun. I can take the heat, Emma Carpenter. What we got going on in Detroit? Tell me about this Brandon fellow.
We are in Detroit. This is Tee Times in Rochester Hills, Michigan. Brandon Barrows. He started playing indoor golf because it was the perfect way to play year-round, even in the wintertime. Keeps your game sharp, as we know, especially on these GOLFZON simulators. Youngest golfer to qualify for the Michigan State Amateur at just 13 years old. Wow. Very impressive. So he's been competing for a number of years, Landon.
What a stick. All right, let's go to the city that I got my master's degree in. This is New York, New York. Not very clever with the name, just naming it right after the state. We won't hold it against it. We love New York. Who do we got here at GOLFZON Social? But old Sticky Pants James. We love him. His greatest golf achievement is becoming a PGA member. Now, folks, it is a family there at the PGA. His lowest tournament round was a 70. What a comfortable pair of slacks it looked like he's wearing. Back to you, Emma Carpenter.
Over in Detroit at Tee Times, Landon, this is Douglas Piesco. He said that the wintertime, as well as his teammate Brandon, is what got him inside over to Tee Times. He also has played basketball and baseball, pretty well-rounded athlete. He said that his greatest accomplishment in golf is missing qualifying for a PGA Tour event by just one stroke. Alexis Hiosh from New York. She first got into indoor golf because her boyfriend got her into it. Now she joins him on the team today, placed top 3 at the New Jersey Women's Open. She is an absolute player, forced to be reckoned with today for Team New York. Back over in Detroit, this is Francesco Manzanilla. He said that indoor golf, he started playing indoor golf because of this tournament right here. So we'll see how he shows up today.
Cute hip movement. Back to New York City. We have Ashlyn. Goodness. Tell us about yourself. Full status on the 2016 LPGA Tour. So why don't you stick that in your pipe and smoke it? Am I right, Emma Carpenter? Or am I right?
Well, Landon, I think that this golf course is going to be a very fun challenge for these golfers today. We've got lots of talent teeing it up at both tee times and the Golf Zone Social. The signature holes that we are looking at on the front 9, holes 1, 4, and 6. Treasure Island, Blind Pew, and Israel Hands. This is hole number 1, the par 5, 595. Definitely a good starting hole, but that fairway is not super forgiving.
Look at this junk show. Hole number 4, par 4, 370 yards. Probably the ugliest hole of golf I've ever seen. Makes me want to gouge my eyes out. It's so ugly. That's probably why they nicknamed it Blind Pew. That is comedy. Emma Carpenter.
Hole number 6, Israel Hands. This character, a Spyglass Hill, visibly changes on the tee box. You'll spend the rest of your round hiking the forest. Try to take a peek at the pin when you're in the first fairway, because this giant green has 3 distinct sections that all play dramatically different.
Emma Carpenter, stop me if I'm wrong, but hole number 6 looks just eerily similar to a hole that they have at Pebble Beach Golf Links, one of Tiger Woods' most famous shots of his career when he hit a giant slice up that hill onto his maybe 9th, 10th major of the time when he won it at Pebble Beach. Is that the same hole? You ever played that? Does it make sense?
Landon, I have not been fortunate enough to play golf in Pebble Beach. This golf course very famously hosts the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro Amateur that we love to watch. But gosh, I believe you're definitely right about that Tiger Woods reference, Landon. Now, I'm not positive on that one.
Oh, it's one of Tiger's most famous shots. Goodness gracious. But some people say that Spyglass and Cypress are better than Pebble Beach itself. Would punch them in the face if you heard them saying such disparaging things about the links in McCarthy.
Well, I don't think I would ever punch anybody in the face personally, but
right.
Definitely.
I don't believe you. I've seen
you don't believe
2
me?
little kids in the face just that one time.
Now, this is extremely untrue for all of you listening. I have never punched anyone in the face, especially not 2 little kids.
They were just
Do not
children.
listen to Landon.
They were just children, Emma. They didn't deserve it. I kept saying it, but you just didn't care. You were in some kind of golf rage, which we haven't seen yet between these 2 teams yet. Emma, you're hoping to see a little bit more rage between New York and the old Motor City of Detroit, Michigan?
I think that early on we've noticed a lot of these teams just taking a very even-keeled approach. It's definitely more so in the back 9 and when the match gets really tight down the stretch that these players really start taking their time, getting a little bit more intense. But right now it seems like both teams are just playing their own game.
Yeah, it's hard to play anybody else's game. It would just be far too difficult. I'm seeing that one of the players' name says Grandpa. That's funny to me. Is that funny to you?
I think that's very funny. We've seen a lot of these players who are using their Golf Zone accounts, so they all have different kinds of names.
Nobody's last name is Frampa who's playing, is it? I don't want to be insulting anybody's last name, but that to me is like the mixture of Franny and Grandpa.
That is Francisco Manzanilla. So the Fran comes from Francisco.
Franpa. I want that to be my new nickname moving forward, Emma. They're going to say, announcer of the year for the Golf Zone Tour, Grandpa Ashworth. Am I right, Emma Carpenter? You bet I am.
GOLFZON Social is amazing. I actually was lucky enough to be there for the grand opening. It is a really, really neat place.
I would have met you, but I didn't go. That was the night before I directed Golf Zone first television commercial, Emma Carpenter. And I was there, but I wanted to be up early to shoot it. How funny is that? It's an amazing location, Golf Zone Social. Super dope.
Oh, it's spectacular. The food and drinks are delicious. All of the bays. It's a really big spot. Gosh, if I can remember, there's at least 8 bays, perhaps more.
Yeah, there's a bunch. Uh-oh, we're in the sand trap, Emma. What a bummer. See, Team New York is teeing up from the sand lie. Cool thing about Golf Zone is you have all those little different lies you can put the golf ball on, which will affect the trajectory and the compression factor of your golf ball, how hard you hit down on the ball, how much zip you can get out of the tiny little white sucker. Am I right, Emma Carpenter?
Oh, you're definitely right. I think that's something that makes Golf Zone simulators really, really fair, is actually being penalized whenever you do find the rough. Oftentimes when you're hitting off a mat and you have such a consistent lie, it's part of what makes it a little bit more difficult to work on your technique over the winter time. But look, now we're taking a really good look right here. Well, we have a player in Detroit in the green side bunker. His ball really is sitting down.
Uh-oh. Detroit, they're playing in Rochester, Michigan. It's the state's first Golf Zone golf facility. How pretty cool is that? Now they have 12 Golf Zone 2 vision bays, tee times, full kitchen bar, PGA professional for lessons, leagues. Good God, Emma Carpenter, why would you ever leave this place? Would you just pitch a tent and try to move in?
I think that would be your best course of action, personally.
Amen. Preach it, sister. Who do you think's going to win this hole, Emma Carpenter? I've only been paying mild attention, to be very honest.
Well, at least you're honest, I suppose.
Yeah, they don't pay me for my attention span, Emma Carpenter. You know what I mean?
Well, it's definitely looking as though Team New York is a little bit more in the driver's seat with both Ashlyn Ramsey and Alexis Eos. If Alexis can roll in this putt for par, then they will likely finish par.
Oh man, that was a nice roll. It is just so hard when you're on a simulator to be able to judge that green, all of that fine-tuned motor ability that you've worked so hard for out on the golf course, figuring out your depth of field, figuring out, your binocular disparity, all of the things that go into becoming a great putter. And I'll tell you this right now, Golf Zone simulators, they're the only ones that have even gotten within an inch of getting the putting right.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why there are no gimmies on multiple simulators on the market right now. The closest that they have is around a 4-foot gimme circle. But you can just do little tiny tap-ins here on the Golf Zones where you can't get those more macroscopic putts to work.
What's so special about the simulator as well is because it really emulates the way that the green is to a tee. You can have a 4-footer that is breaking across the cup because that's the exact way that it would be if you had that putt on the golf course. So a 4-footer on Golf Zone could be just as hard as it would be on the course. Now, it wouldn't be any harder because the putting works perfectly fairly, but that's what makes it so great, is that when you do have a short putt, it's just as equally as difficult as it would be in person.
Got that right, Emma Carpenter. Spoken like a true professional. Man, this that Detroit bar and grill looks pretty dope-tacular. Like their team colors, black, blue, and white. That's a sharp color palette. Just Lifter out there in Detroit. Mustache Magooch is not happy. He wanted that one, and he wanted it badly. Got these team outfits. Mannon is in a pair of jogger pants. Looks like they have even a little a cheering section there in Detroit. Showing a little team camaraderie that we saw out of Team London. Boy, did you want any team to win more than London, Emma Carpenter. What a group of dedicated golfers they were that fought to the end.
Oh, definitely. We have seen lots and lots. There's a putt from Doug Piesco. He doesn't seem too happy about it, but that'll be a bogey to push this first hole. Bogey par.
Wow. A bogey par push. And bogey par takes the push. Hole number 2, par 4, 349 yards. That's just 9 iron to some of those out there. So you're just looking to put something right in the center of the short stuff, leave yourself a nice little approach, stay out of that sand trap, and let the big dog eat. Looks like both players have a wood in their hand. They're just trying to take off as much yardage as they possibly can and give themselves a little flip wedge in. According to the PGA Tour statistics, you gain a stroke and a half on the competition by long drives. And a cool stat that I know, Emma Carpenter, you'll know this is Landon Ashworth's favorite stat of them all in the Korean tour of this event called the K Tour. A couple of players ended up qualifying from winning that to go on to play in the professional Korean tour, which is the Koreans PGA Tour, and their disparity between their shots were less than 1% off. So that's how accurate they are. Their driving distance on tour and their driving distance the K Tour, their proximity to the pin, the putts per round, all of their numbers on tour matched the Golf Zone numbers, 1% disparity. Emma Carpenter, stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
Landon, I think that stat very perfectly paints the picture of just how accurate these simulators are and how fair this competition really is. A lot of people for a period of time thought that there was such a thing as just being good at simulator golf, but nope, it's called being good at golf. If you're good at golf on the course, you'll be good on the Golf Zone simulators and vice versa.
Yeah, you know what I like to call those people, Emma Carpenter?
Who are those people?
Morons. People that don't know, forgive my French, but don't know a GD thing about golf simulators and the technology. Just absolute nincompoops, Emma Carpenter. What a beautiful shot from Team Detroit out of that bunker. Nice job, ball below feet. New York, one of those beautiful pressure swing plate floors where it'll adjust to the lie of your golf ball, like on the golf course, 64 different positions, and the new NX golf simulator that they're going to unveil in Orlando. I think it has something like 700 trillion or something. Some factorial of the number one. It's going to be a big number. It's going to be a lot of different positions.
Here's Alexis Eos. Oof.
Nearly got a pin hunter merit badge for that one. Beautiful shot. Murat and McCarthy.
You sure are. Now here's Brandon Barrow stepping up. He hit his drive, just smoked it, pin high left.
Brandon Barrows missed qualifying for a PGA Tour event by one stroke. That would be brutal for some people. But now he is here with us on YouTube. So take that, Tiger Woods. That's one thing that Brandon has up on Tiger Woods is Tiger is not here right now. Think Emma Carpenter will think that Tiger Woods will ever win in a golf tournament. Emma Carpenter, back to you, Carpenter.
You know what? That's definitely difficult to say. I think when you're talking about the greatest person to ever play a sport, you really can never say never.
Well, that would be Jack Nicklaus, not Tiger Woods, Emma Carpenter. I'll take you to the mat on that one.
Oh, okay.
Major wins. Jack Nicklaus with a stunning 18. Tiger Woods with a tragic 14? 15? 16? I know he's a few off, right? He's
Brandon Barrows, he made birdie there, Landon.
Oh, do you want to talk about the golf? Want to make this whole thing about the golf, Emma Carpenter? Some people are curious about the Kaibab squirrel, but you want to talk about golf. Nice birdie from Detroit. There you go, Emma Carpenter. Hope you're happy now. Made a golf call for the golf queen.
Oh, why, thank you. Now I'm flattered. Birdie from Detroit is definitely a nice bounce back from that par bogey start that they had. Landon, the first two holes are all wrapped up. Detroit up one, what we called a little bit of a lucky start for both teams getting away with a bogey par to push the hole. Now Detroit fires back with the birdie on hole 2 to get to 1 up. Landon, let's take a look at hole number 3 on Spyglass Hill. What do you say?
I say that it's a stunning par 3, 172 yards. Don't get too close to the ocean. That's where dolphins go pee. It's absolutely beautiful. It's right next to the Pacific Ocean. Personally, my 4th favorite ocean. Not super high up on the list, but you got to build a golf course. You got to build a golf course somewhere, and that's what they said at Spyglass. Let's just build one right here. Once you find the green, notice that the putts will race towards the ocean. Everything breaks towards the ocean, so they're going to want to keep it on the short side of this green, and sadly, Team Detroit kept it very, 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 very short of the green and in the bunker. Emma Carpenter, did you know that sand traps are actually made of parrot fish poop?
No, I definitely did not know that.
Yep. That is what the beaches are made of. Crushed up coral reef, millions and millions and millions of years of parrotfish eating coral reef for food and eating the plankton, phytoplankton, not plankton, but some type of algae that grows on them, and then pooping them out, and that is what makes sand. That's what made all the sands on the beaches of the earth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Here's Alexis Eos. New York trying to make a bounce back. You can see Francisco's ball over in Detroit landing just short left of hers. It's luckily stopped short of that back has.
Has anybody hit the green yet? Swaggy 12's only... No, I don't think he's on the green either. Ashland's not on the green. I don't think anybody hit the green.
Yes, Doug Piesco is 24 feet.
Oh, thank God you're paying attention. Oh, what a beautiful shot from Team Detroit. Oh, I just couldn't get it to spin. Gee, dang it. Just keeping things honest here. She put the ball in the rough line. She's in the rough. She doesn't want to incur any penalties. Good on her for playing the sport as the time-honored traditions require. And she doesn't have a caddy in St. Andrews, Scotland. Take his clubs to the pub. Am I right, Emma Carpenter?
That was very well done by Alexis Eos. Just her hands. You could tell how comfortable she is. Francisco looks equally as comfortable. How about this? He nestles it. It's got to sit. That'll be a really easy tap in. Oh, James Swagger's ball racing by from Team New York. Landon, how would you feel if you had the last name Swagger?
That is a hard thing to live up to. Yeah, that's.
I think it automatically gives you a little bit.
Yeah, maybe it does. Maybe I should have changed my professional screen name to Landon Swagger.
I like it. It's got a nice ring to it.
It kind of reminds me of Schwager, which was both a cinematographer that I know and one of my favorite astronauts, Rusty Schwager. Sure, all of you out there are space buffs like me, loving space knowledge. So for those of you that were hoping that your host for this golf tournament is a PhD astrophysicist, boy, are you in luck. Am I right? I'm a Carpenter. Great putt.
Sure are.
New York. What a long par putt.
Couple really nice par putts from long range. One from James and one from Brandon Barrows. Now stepping up, here's Doug Piesco. He's looking to get another Team Detroit win with this 25-foot birdie putt. Or no, excuse me. This is his par putt from now 12.5 feet that just slides by. That'll be a 3-putt for Doug.
Nice cleanup from Team New York. Par bogey so far. It's a beautiful, beautiful hole. Hey, Carpenter, did I ask you if you've ever played Spyglass?
I personally have not gotten the chance to play Spyglass, Landon. How about yourself?
I have not. Oh, I haven't played any golf in Northern California. That was a push, folks.
Started with GOLFZON back in 2019 when we opened our first facilities. Now we're up to 3 facilities in New York, plus our 1 in Connecticut. And it's just been growing, and we're really excited about it. We really learned from our first base, which was smaller and much more simpler, that the customer base and the demographics was crying for more. They wanted a more involved, exciting, and engaging experience, including the sports bar. We've really developed and kind of sculpted these spaces to match what each particular location is looking for and our demographics there.
One of our key focuses in the vision for developing this space was to give it a Brooklyn sense of place. We wanted to execute that vision with our food menu, with our drink menu, and more importantly, with the hospitality.
And then what really is the overall goal of a golf simulator facility, which is to create a fun, engaging atmosphere that's inclusive of golfers and non-golfers, and just create an environment where we can grow the game.
Really provide a safe space that they can come in, have fun, maybe pick up a club for the first time. And just to see a new target demographic start picking up the game of golf has just been absolutely phenomenal. I think the golf game right now is absolutely exploding in terms of popularity.
There's not more land popping up. There's tons of more golfers in the market, and we're starting to see some of the inventory levels really drop for people who want to play green grass. And so this is an opportunity for us to create more room for golfers without needing to go out and build a new golf course and have this major lift to do that. More access to the game of golf and competitive golf is a great way to grow the entire sport.
Being a part of growing the game, I think, is such an amazing phenomenon for us.
Well, for par 4, 370 yards, dogleg left. You don't want a long drive, but that fairway narrows out. So you got to be careful with your drive. If you're trying to take too much off this hole, you could run out of real estate. Right, Emma Carpenter?
You're absolutely right, Landon. Now, this is Robert Trent Jones Sr.'s favorite par 4 he ever designed. Why do you think that is, Landon?
No idea. It's the most boring hole I've ever seen in my life, Emma. Not that I want to fire any shots, but it's just a simple dogleg left. Probably overpriced mega mansions over there on the left. Just a bunch of random trees on the right. Apparently, this guy doesn't realize that there's other golf courses out there. Right, Emma? Am I just being an internet bully?
I don't know, perhaps it's a mix of the two. The putting surface is just 10 yards wide, but 55 yards deep. So definitely very interesting green that these players are going to face. Hopefully they're not going to have a 55-yard putt. My goodness, imagine if you had a putt from the front of the green to the back or back to front.
Chip it.
All the way the length of it. Yeah, you may as well.
Yeah, I would chip it. I wouldn't suggest that most people chip it, but I would chip it.
I think it's all going to come down to the second shot for these players on this hole.
You ever chipped on the green, Emma Carpenter?
I have chipped on the green before. I believe we may have discussed this during the last match, Landon, just because it's hard to get over the fear of taking a chunk out of the green. That's the last thing you want to do. And if you're going to take a chunk out of the green, it may as well be, or it may better be a very, very, very good chip.
Isn't that the truth? Going to the Masters, Emma Carpenter. Oh, beautiful high buttery draw here. Let's see it nestle up close to the jar and almost.
Woo!
Great shot from Team Detroit. You know that when the Masters is happening, Augusta National resods the tee box every day. Completely resods the entire tee box.
Wow.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
They don't fill divots. They replace the sod. Craziest thing I've ever seen in my life, Carpenter, was the groundskeeper at Augusta National. Ruthless, dedicated professionals to what they do. As I'm sure they are here at Spyglass, where they are playing Team New York and Team Detroit. And Detroit is one up. Carpenter, remind me, how many times have we seen these two teams?
Well, Landon, first off, how about that shot that we just saw from James Swagger? It seems like he is the only one who has figured out how to hit a shot into this green. You can see right after the flag the way it dramatically drops off, flying a golf ball all of the way to the flag does not leave you in a very good spot because you run all the way down into where you see this collection of golf balls. James Swagger landed his golf ball short and it just nestled in there perfectly. That flag is sitting up on top of a shelf.
Yeah, this is certainly target golf, isn't it, Emma?
Certainly target golf. And now this green being just 10 yards wide. Look at this, 70 feet. Oh, she's chipping on the green, Landon. Or is that the fringe?
I think that was the fringe, Emma Carpenter. I love this team of two girls and one guy. You know, they did great in their first round of golf, playing to their advantages and playing just great golf. The only team of two girls and one guy that we've seen so far here in the GOLFZON Tour. We applaud the terrific golf that they're playing. This goes to show that anybody could play on a GOLFZON simulator, whether be it man, woman, or small, cartoonishly small child. Like I'm sure you were when you were a little girl, Emma Carpenter. Nice putt there from Team New York. Thought we were going to see one drop from the LPGA pro herself, Emma Carpenter. I'm sure she follows you on Instagram.
Well, I follow her on Instagram. She's definitely had a very impressive career as a competitive golfer. Now moving into the GOLFZON Tour.
Emma, you might be accused of impropriety if you two are friends on Instagram. I'm so thankful she didn't friend me on Instagram to be accused of any impropriety. You know, possibly some shot calling that a normal competitor would not.
Oh, well,
Emma Carpenter, obviously.
Landon, I support all of these players playing in the GOLFZON Tour, and Ashlyn Ramsey specifically. She grew up in Augusta, Georgia. Talking about Augusta National, she said that her older sister was winning events, spending time with her dad on the golf course, and she wanted to do the same. So now she has been playing golf for 20 years She had full status on the LPGA Tour in 2016.
Wow.
2013 and 2014, she was the #1 amateur in the world. Youngest player on the 2014 Curtis Cup team.
She probably played at Augusta then. She was the #1 amateur in the world. Played in the U.S. Women's Am, I would imagine. That is probably a young lady who's played at Augusta.
U.S. women's amateur has never been at Augusta National, but now they have the Augusta National Women's Amateur. So but that's only been happening for a few years now.
Oh, well, you knew what I meant. You were just trying to make me feel small. Classic cyberbullying from Emma Carpenter. Good job, Emma. I hope you feel real big, strong. You're a real strong gentleman. Good job. Beat up your announcers. Probably going to be a push, ladies and gentlemen, as Emma's pushing me around the stage. Carpenter, what's your favorite nut?
My favorite nut?
But yeah, of course, that's obviously what I asked.
Probably cashews or almonds, but
they say that walnut is one of the healthiest of all nuts. You know that?
That's probably up there. That's probably up there as one of my favorites as well.
Back to the action. That was a tragic lip out, unless it was a guarantee. No, that was a lip out, and that is going to result in a bogey, and he is not happy in Team Detroit. Lip outs can happen anywhere, folks. It can happen to you on the golf course, the GOLFZON Tour, possibly tragically even in the bathtub.
That is going to result in a loss for Team Detroit on this hole. The par from New York will win this one to get it back to all square. You can see the indicators. Look at that. How much this breaks is just unbelievable.
That is some undulation. That is target golf. You got to pick your landing zones on courses like this. It becomes a ball striker's way to dominate or a ball striker's way to limit the bleeding if the wind picks up. Team New York wins the hole. Fist bumps all around. Gentle hat dip from the gentleman in navy. Emma, tell me about this weird hole.
This hole number 5, another par 3 that we're seeing, 197 yards. This is the last hole that is along the ocean. Placed slightly uphill to a green surrounded by dunes and bunkers. The safest part of the green is right in the middle. It's a bit of a bowl, and it's like that's exactly where the flag is too. So no reason why these players shouldn't be going flag hunting, even though it's from 197.
First ball ends up tragically short in New York in the bunker. In Detroit, fans won out short weak and right in the bunker. Some extra force field going on in the bunkers, just drawing golf balls in like a siren song to the sailors. And Emma Carpenter, you know much about seafaring culture.
I wouldn't say that I do.
Yeah, why would you, Emma Carpenter? Ridiculous thing to ask. Back to the action. Nice buttery cut at it. GOLFZON Social in New York. And she was able to put one on, and we almost just saw a jar out, inside out, Doberman pincher style out of Team Detroit. Absolutely slam dunked. A beautiful chip. High, buttery, and soft. Right in there. Another golf ball comedically in the bunker. Let's see if old Swaggy Pants gets the golf ball in the bunker. Nice
This
pass.
is Doug Piesco. He's had some ups and downs already this match. How about that shot?
He's got a beautiful swing. I like all the lag he gets out of his swing. Little wood chopper there. It's how you maximize spin, but you can lose the golf ball right if you can't time it up and hit some hosel rockets. But he was able to pull it off and zipper one up there close. Just trying to judge what he's going to do with that uneven line in Detroit. More crooked than a dog's hind end. Am I right, Emma Carpenter?
And then on the exact opposite end, here's Ashlyn Ramsey with the ball way below her feet. Oh, beautifully played.
Nice shot, Ashlyn. A lot to be proud of. That was certainly high-five worthy activity. Emma Carpenter, you ever conducted any high-five activity?
Sure have. Sure
Beautiful
have.
shot.
I'm a big fan of the high five.
Sure you are. Why wouldn't you be? Short and left. Gee darn it. Got a whole bunch of par putts on the board and a couple birdie attempts. Yeah.
Ooh.
Rolls the rock long, strong, and down to get the friction on in the bottom of the cup. And York just lips theirs out. Yeah, he's bumping him up. Starting to see a little bit more energy get hot beef injected into this team like we're roasting a Thanksgiving turkey. Am I right, Emma Carpenter?
Oh yeah, Landon. Brandon Barrows now 1 under par natural for the match. That birdie was going to be huge. It should win this hole for Detroit. If Doug Piesco rolls this in right now, seals the deal. And he does.
Yeah, you heard it before you saw it, birdie. Very, very, very nicely done. Team Detroit with the W. Old Mustache McGee was able to put his money where his mouth was.
All right, Landon, and just like that, Team Detroit is back to 1 up. This is hole number 6, par 4, 446 yards, bunkers in play off the tee, trees right, trees left. This green has 3 distinct sections that all play dramatically different.
Yeah, just like
See
the
now.
last hole. You got to pick your landing spot on this course, Carpenter. You're going to be beat up by a small woodland creature. 2 great drives. And by 2 great, I mean 1 great, because 1 just cartoonishly ricocheted off the cart path. Emma Carpenter, have you ever had to hit a golf ball off a cart path in competition?
I don't think I ever have, Landon. That's a good question, because sometimes you are faced with that kind of predicament of the shot off the cart path being a better choice than actually taking a drop. Now that you say it, I think that I have, but I can't really remember.
Joe Nev.
Here's Ashlyn Ramsey.
Humbles it. What a beautiful swing she has. Just textbook. Nice turn. It's just a beautiful turn and a turn. Great swing.
Well, Landon, we mentioned that Ashlyn Ramsey, she only played 1 year of college golf before turning professional. So she played 1 year of college golf at Clemson and then right away chose to chase a career on the LPGA Tour. So she has been a good golfer for a very long time. Her team is now 1 down through 5. Still plenty can happen.
And one of the things that Tiger Woods says, ooh, bummer, bad break there from Team Detroit. Although I don't think it was really a break he was looking for. He's looking for some sort of miracle from the Lord Jesus himself. Get out of that nasty lie that he was in. But one of Tiger Woods' greatest regrets, he says, is not playing his last year at Stanford. We wonder if that decision to go pro worked out well for her.
I would say it worked out all right for him.
Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, from the booth, I'm getting a breaking news update that James and Alexis just got engaged over the weekend.
Is that right?
That's right, Emma Carpenter.
Wow.
That's
Well,
that's breaking news to me. Even me.
Congratulations to the couple.
Got that right.
Now, what a way to celebrate and just keep on feeding off of that happiness by winning a match today on the GOLFZON Tour.
Yeah, that'd do it. What's better, getting proposed to or winning $150,000 cash money on the GOLFZON Tour? You tell me, folks.
Well, that's a toss-up. Depends on who you ask.
Obviously, I'm a Carpenter with their stone cold heart, $150,000 cash. This might cartoonishly hit the tree right in front of him. Let's hope that he's able to cut this round. That is a cut swing right there. There's not enough pepper in his salt shaker, if you know what I mean, I'm a Carpenter.
Landon, here's Brandon Barrows, the man who's been on fire all day today. You can just tell that golf ball feels so comfortable in his hands. Oh my goodness. He almost rolled in that chip.
Beautiful shot. Team Detroit cheering each other on. Seems like Team Detroit is a little bit more animated than Team New York, and what we've seen in the past are teams that are very excited and chipper like a little squirrel monkey, or maybe even a Kayabab squirrel that you feed a Snickers to. Any mixed metaphor will do, folks. You know what I'm talking about. Emma Carpenter, I forget what I was talking about. Back to you, Emma.
Oh, that's all right, Landon. Here is a birdie attempt from Francisco in Detroit, as well as from Ashlyn Ramsey in New York. Oh my gosh,
Buckets.
She drains it.
Buckets from the mini skirt. Emma, was that your nickname in high school and college? Buckets from the mini skirt.
No, it was not, but
Too bad, Emma Carpenter. That would have been hilarious. New York just misses the ball short and right. Big undulations on this green. Team Detroit going to try to sling one in there from right to left. Team New York is going to have to swing one in left to right. Diametrically opposed putts they're facing, and blows past the hole by about a foot. Should be a nice, easy tap in for you. Up, short, and right. Sorry, folks. I'm gonna put on a announcer's voice like you might find at the Masters, and possibly bring the energy down a little bit. See how you like that. Maybe this is getting you all hot and bothered there in your internet seat at home, folks. Possibly on an airplane, possibly on a train. I don't know your means of conveyance, nor is it any of my business. You must make birdie putt, Detroit. I'm a Carpenter. Do you know what's going to happen?
well, it's definitely not an easy birdie putt. Look at how hard this green is breaking. That absolute bomb that was just dropped by Ashlyn Ramsey secures the win for New York on hole number 6.
I'm a restaurant owner by trade. Since its inception, my idea for Tea Times to bring in a group of safe certified servers and cooks to present food and service along with the premier golf simulator, to put it all together in a business, it was absolutely what you'd call a dream come true. My favorite piece about the GOLFZON simulator is the ability to watch the replays, to collect the data, to go into my GOLFZON app later on, watch myself swing. I'm not always happy about what I see, but at least I get the feedback, and I think overall it makes you a better player. There are 3 local high schools. All local high schools, boys and girls teams, get to practice here every week during the off season or even during the season when it's raining. We don't charge them. We love the fact that they can come in and practice at our facility. Tea Times is going to be opening its 2nd location. It's a 13 simulator location located in Bloomfield Township, Michigan, where we'll feature same technology, same food, same service. Most of the people that come in here, regulars that visit our site, they come back over and over again. They tell us the same thing. Our facility is really second to none. There are other facilities out there. Maybe they've gone and tried that, but when they come here, they just don't go anywhere else. And with a facility like this, word of mouth just spreads so fast. We were busy almost immediately. Within our first day opening, we were packed, and it's been a heck of a ride.
Tell me something I don't know, Emma Carpenter. Go ahead. Hit me.
Something that you don't know, Landon, is that you don't know what's going to happen in this match, nor do I, because we're seeing lots of back and forth action from both New York and Detroit. Detroit has shown some moments of excellence, a couple holes with scores of birdie to be 2 under for the hole and get the easy, comfortable win. But for Team New York, they're playing solid, they're playing steady, and we're seeing some mistakes out of Detroit. So I think that it's going to be interesting to see which team is going to just perform down the stretch, because right now it's really anybody's game. Who have you been most impressed with so far, Landon?
That's got to be Team New York. I like their sensible outfits. I like their calm, almost ignoring any joy's behavior, because they just got ice cold ice water running through those veins, possibly some sort of liquid nitrogen ammonia mix. Emma Carpenter, lower to absolute zero, their blood goes. Am I right?
I have no idea, to be quite frank with you, Landon. But I do know that this next hole coming up is going to be a very, very good one. Hole number 7. They call this one Indian Village, par 5. You want to aim your tee shot at that pond up there on the left. Hopefully those bunkers won't give you any trouble. If you do hit a really good drive, this is a gettable par 5. 545, it's definitely no joke. So 2 really good shots you'll need to get there in 2 for some of these players, especially with that water up there playing into your second or maybe third shot. So we'll see. We got some 2 pretty big bombers up. Here's Brandon Barros and James Flagger. Let's see what they've got on this tee box.
Emma, I don't want to call attention to anything ridiculous that you may or may not say. That's not my place. But you called this 545-yard par 5 gettable. In what crackhead world do you live in where almost 550-yard par 5 is gettable? That's crazy talk, Emma Carpenter.
Oh, I don't think so, Landon. We've seen some players, especially in this GOLFZON Tour, hitting it up to 320 yards. If that's the case, you hit a 320-yard drive, then you only have what? Let's do some math. If you got 545 and then you had a 320-yard drive, then you only have 225 yards left in.
Emma,
which is,
Emma.
What
Please
is it?
don't
What
tell
is
me
it?
that you had to pull out your calculator for that math.
I didn't have to pull out my calculator.
Don't you
for
lie
that
to me,
math,
Emma
Landon.
Carpenter.
I'm not lying to you.
Don't you lie to me, Emma
you.
Carpenter. You had your little iPhone calculator app out. What is
Nope, that's not true.
my
That's not true.
Dude,
I didn't.
Emma Carpenter, you're a bold-faced
true,
liar,
Landon.
and everybody knows it. Back to the action. Back to this gettable par 5. Am I right, Emma Carpenter?
Well, I was right about it being gettable,
They're
so
hand-
who's
they're-
lying now?
They're handing out birthday presents in pine cones. At this par 5, it's gettable. Wow, that's a beautiful
It certainly it can be gettable if you hit a very good drive, but if you have over a 200-yard shot, if you're hitting anything other than iron, it definitely is
God, that was
tighter second shot.
wow. You gonna have that left for eagle? What a shot!
Wow. All right, Landon. How about that?
All right.
How
well,
about that?
This is Ashlyn's second shot. She still has 242 left. Ball way above the feet. It doesn't bother her at all. It's going to leak out there to the right just a little bit as a ball above your foot. So oft do when you hit them correctly. When a ball above the feet makes you want to close off your club face. And Ashlyn plays right through that. Most amateur of mistakes. No amateur herself having played on tour. God bless her heart. Great shot. High, lands soft, but to the right of the short grass. If you wanted to hit on the shorter grass, he was going to have to hit that ball just a little bit more left. Yeah, all right.
Well, you're
Not too many-
definitely right that the ball needed to be a little bit more left to be on the putting surface.
Not
to
too
be
many
dancing
people are
for
getting
my
your
play.
gettable par 5, Emma Carpenter. Sorry to step on you there, but I want you to defend yourself.
Well, I mean, I think that you should talk to Doug Piesco, who has 12 and a half feet for eagle, who actually hit iron into this hole. So what do you have to say about that? He's doing the impossible, according to you.
You'll see anything on the Golf Zone Tour, and I think that's why we're all here, folks, isn't it? Not for Emma Carpenter's cyberbullying, but in fact, for the great, interesting things that you might see. If you tune in, tune out.
Landon, we also
$1,000
have Francisco, who is on the green, who hit iron. Now he has eagle from 21 and a half feet. So, Landon, let me get this straight. So, you told me that I was crazy for thinking this was gettable, and then you call me out for using a calculator to prove my point, just to fact check. And then now I'm the cyberbully. Am I understanding this correctly?
That's right, Emma Carpenter. You were dead on. Yeah, the facts as presented are the events that befolded before our very eyes this evening on the Golf Zone Tour. That's just another reason they'd want to stick in here and not change the channel and go watch, I don't know, the old YouTuber Mr. Beast blow up a school bus or whatever else is happening on the other channels there on the internet. You don't care, folks, because you're here with Emma Carpenter and Landon Ashworth and Golf Zone to bring you this hot match.
Well, Landon, here is that eagle chance from Francisco Manzanilla. Oh my gosh, just burns the edge on the high side. He's going to have a little bit of work coming back for birdie, but I would still say that Detroit is 100% at an advantage here. Gosh, hitting iron into this 545-yard par 5.
Old soft hands there in New York. That was his second buttered wedge. It was very nicely hit. He's got soft, buttery hands, Emma Carpenter.
He sure does. And now let's see what Doug Piesco has from 12 and a half feet for eagle.
Nice try. Sit down. Couldn't get the ball in the hole, Emma Carpenter. A thing that most golfers are trying to do. It doesn't seem that he is tonight.
Aren't we all, Landon? Sometimes I feel like I play a really good round of golf, but I just couldn't really get the ball in the hole. It took me a lot of tries.
Of course, those of you at home just joining in to the sport of golf, the point is to hit it in the hole and as few of tries as possible. So what Emma was saying, sometimes it takes her a lot of tries. Nice birdie there out of Detroit. She was actually making a funny joke that she wasn't doing what a golfer should do. Blows it by the hole there. That thing was strapped to the Falcon 9 Heavy from SpaceX because that thing blew past the hole at Delta V. Detroit has won. What a W from Team Detroit, winning the hole. You got high energy there, a woman holding a baby for some reason. Spyglass Hill, hole number 8, par 4, 400 yards. If you're a mathematician, 399 yards. Simple dog leg left. I doubt that the designer of this golf course said that this is his favorite par 4 that he's ever designed, because then you would say, didn't you say that about another hole? And then he'd say, you know what, I actually didn't even design this golf course. I'm the locker room attendant.
That would be about how I would be feeling if I were in that particular situation.
Emma, not a big momentum shift as far as who's going to just run away with this sucker, but who you liking?
I think that Team Detroit definitely has lots of potential. We have seen many birdies out of them already, and I think that the ability to make birdies in a match play game is really important, given that just you can take a little bit more risks in match play, knowing that the worst you can lose is just one hole. So usually, knowing that you have the capacity to be a little bit more risky, and you have that room and that cushion of your teammates and it's match play, you should really hypothetically be trying to make birdie on every single hole, unless you hit a bad tee shot or a bad approach shot and you kind of find yourself a little bit more on defense. But you should step up to every tee box wanting to make birdie. And I think because Team Detroit has made more birdies, it's just really shown that they have the ability to win this match if they can keep that up.
So you think these teams should be going for the Monday qualifier, shooting the lowest score that you possibly can, no defensive golf at all, lead foot on the pedal, 24/7 in my Carpenter?
I don't really see why not, unless there is a little bit of strategy amongst the team on those risk-reward holes, because it's a 3-count too. It is okay if a player has a bad hole. You just don't want 2 players to have a bad hole. It's okay if one player has a bad hole and another one has a decent hole, but you never want 2 players to have a really bad hole, because that will usually result in the loss. So I think that if there's a little bit of strategy, then the approach may be different. But yes, generally, I do think that these players should have their foot on the gas at all times.
Love that attitude out of you, Emma Carpenter. That's a can die. Gonna go out, my hair on fire, reaching down some sort of mythical mountain, fighting a warlock, sort of winner attitude. Great shot there out of Team New York. Playing some real nice fairway and green golf. Who in the world got engaged, Emma Carpenter? What 2 golfers?
Landon in New York. This is James Swagger and his fiance, soon to be Mrs. Swagger, Alexis Swagger, also has a nice ring to it. Got 2 fiancés on this team and an engaged couple. It's pretty special.
Pretty dope. Wonder if they'll add you as follower on Instagram, Emma Carpenter, like all these players seem to be doing these days with you. I'm just calling it impropriety. Just saying that proprietous. Emma Carpenter, everybody's adding you as a following you. Nobody wants to follow old Landon Snickerdoodle.
Oh,
Well,
I think
give him
everybody
a-
already was following you, Landon.
It made me feel like a bad person. Great shot there out of Team Detroit. Fist bumps abound. Emma, have you seen much difference in great putt there? I mean, you got to hold your head high when you have that hard of a putt and you go into the center of the cup's orbit. Even to miss that putt was a heck of a read and a heck of a speed. Wow, I just made that up. I should put that on a t-shirt, Emma.
You should stitch that on a pillow, Landon.
Marlocks in New York's. They can do it. 4-footer in the center of the cup. Would you expect anything else from this terrific golfer? I wouldn't. That's the engaged couple right there.
That's right, Landon.
I wonder why they were being so touchy. Feely. It was freaking me out. But now Now I feel like a dirty old man because they're just in love. Good for them. Glad there's going to be no lawsuits in Team New York for some unwanted team touching. Cannot get too touchy with your teammates. Am I right, Emma Carpenter? Nice par.
If you're engaged, I think it's okay. But the par in New York is a solid score on this hole number 7. Or excuse me, hole number 8. This match is moving quickly, Landon.
Thank goodness. That's what we want. We want to get the people the money that they paid for to watch this free match. The only way that we can fit in more golf is to speed up the matches. Oh no.
Now we have a lengthy par putt coming up here. There's the beautiful couple that we've been talking about. Here now, Doug Piesco, long range, 35-foot right to left breaker. But Brandon Barrows does have a 10-footer for birdie. So, he's gonna chip this one.
Ooh, nearly hold it out. But it got a lot of zip
good
on
play.
it, and it bit. That's what you want. I think they're probably going to lose, Emma. What do you think?
Well, now, this putt that we're going to see after Francisco has 20 feet for par. If he rolls this in, Detroit has a chance to win this hole.
That's what you say, Emma Carpenter. That's what you say. Short to the right. Didn't have the speed or the read. Poor guy gives his putter a little love tap right there on the snout. Hopefully him and his putter can find a warm bed to lie in later and rekindle the romance that they had when he bought it or got it as a gift. There's a reason that's in the bag, but smack that putter right there on the face. Must make 30 attempts. Here
Yeah, Landon, so New York is in for par, and both of Brandon's teammates are going to be making bogey, just a couple short birdie putts. So in order for the cumulative par, this needs to drop. It does not. And New York will win back the hole to go all square through 8.
Boy, oh boy. Just David and Goliath trading blows. Hole number 9, it's a par 4, 431 yards. They call this one Captain Smollett. The 6th hole, the elevated green on 9 is guarded by deep bunkers. You cut it into 3 distinct sections. Imagine that. They cutting this green up. The 3 sections each time. Got to pick your landing zones. Closest 2 holes on the front 9 pack some serious punch. Par's always a great score here, Emma Carpenter. Better not get too fancy. All right.
That's right. Well, we've seen 2 good drives already. Now here's a big swing from Brandon Barrows. Why
Jeez.
not?
Jeez.
Woo!
313 carry with a punch driver.
Wow.
He put some mass behind that ball. He's got
As he should.
He's got a punch to that friggin' swing. A great swing. Crushed it down the center of the fairway. 313-yard carry and on a 1-degree launch. That's some cannon. That's a cannon talk. You much into cannon culture, Emma Carpenter?
Wouldn't really say so, Landon, but you're absolutely right about that drive, how impressive that really was. Lots of balls finding the fairway from both teams. Here's Doug Piesco hitting his second shot from 146.
It felt like he came out of that a little bit and hit behind the ball. That's going to be short, isn't it? Yeah. That ball is short, but safely on the surface. A birdie putt is better than not birdie putt, and that is one of the best calls you're going to hear tonight. Golden Goose just hits it short and to the right there from center cut. That's not a great leave. Being that close, you'll be disappointed in that one, I assume. Probably won't sleep for weeks. He's cut out of Team Detroit, high buttery cut. Take that slope. That is how you play this hole. We have an easy birdie putt. That is across the line in a pull hook left.
Yep, you could hear after the fact, call it a little bit of a double cross. Alexis Hios definitely loves to hit a cut. If that club face is not square to open, it may just be, or open to her path, I should say. It may start left and travel a little bit left. But that is a beautiful shot out of New York. James Swagger, just 12 and a half feet.
I believe that Team Detroit has it in them to pull out the win. Emma Carpenter. That's who my money's on. Not that I don't love New York. The city's got my heart. Team Detroit's got my soul. Not afraid to say it, Emma Carpenter.
Now we're getting a rules check, Landon, what we've been talking about so much. Paesco is wondering if he can chip on the green. He's 44 feet.
Can chip on the green, you just have to change the club to a wedge.
It looks like he's gonna do it, Landon.
Yeah, it is not going to cost him anything, and it's certainly not going to hurt the mats. So he's going to go for it, which isn't too unsmart of a play, Emma Carpenter. With the way that green undulates.
Unsmart. I like the play. I think that, especially when you have a putt that's breaking so much, sometimes it can be easy for the putt to get away from you. That's pretty well executed. You can't ask for a whole lot more with a putter. If he would have finished there with a putter, he probably would have been pleased with it. Now here's Ashlyn Ramsey. This, her par putt from 23 feet.
Oh my goodness, what a putt. Beautiful out of the LPGA player, New York. Oh, and Team Detroit just barely lips. I would have been some David and Goliath stuff, just trading uppercuts. Am I right, Emma?
Absolutely. Well, gosh, we've seen that out of Ashlyn Ramsey many times already just in this match. She can roll the rock, just dropping bombs, and not just from long range, but these putts that are breaking a foot up to. We've seen her just pouring them in. Hole's never over till it's over.
That is how holes work. Emma, great call and great putt there out of Detroit. That's a bird. Tweet, tweet. You may not be having a stroke. That is just the sounds of birds chirping from that beautiful birdie. Team New York, if you can't roll this thing in the right center. Oh my goodness, bobbles in each way. Doesn't matter though, that was for double bogey. That score will be thrown out. You'd pray that a double bogey would be thrown out. Wouldn't want a double bogey to be the thing saving your life. Nice par out of Team New York.
Par in New York, Landon, but if Brandon Barros rolls in his 3-foot par putt, then it is going to be a win for Detroit.
Can he do it? Can he make a 3-foot breaker? He can. That's center cup. There was never a doubt. Well, I'm sure Emma doubted him, but she's a cyber bully. Oh, that little
I
kid's
never
trying to
doubt
give him a pound. Give him a pound. Oh, there it is. Thanks, bro. Got to give the kid a pound.
I think I was in the right place at the right time from the very beginning when you guys first opened up your location in Stamford, Connecticut. I think I was there like the first week you guys opened, and I was lucky enough to meet the right people, figure the simulator out, and learn how to play on it, and here we are now.
I thought I never really wanted to be around the game anymore. I kind of took a break and took a step back. But now competing in the simulator, I get to live my everyday life and then get to come together with our team at GOLFZON Social. And it's nice to have that environment where people are actually supporting you and we get to kind of go through everything together.
I bring the fun, the jokes, the camaraderie a little bit. I think when you get Corbo and myself around each other, it can get pretty interesting. I think you guys will have a fun time later.
You know, I like to keep this fun. As someone who did play at a fairly high level, you know, I've noticed that it can be a little tense. And I think one of the benefits of this environment, it can be more fun. It's nice being with a team. So you've got your support system while you're playing.
I try to make sure everyone's encouraged and, you know, there's no bad shots. We're a team, so if someone messes up, someone's got your back. We all play well together. I think all of our personalities pretty mesh really well, and we're all very supportive of one another, which is really nice.
I'm really excited to be competing again. I definitely want to win. I want to make it to Orlando. I think going all the way is something that I'm really pushing for. I think taking it one match at a time, one round at a time is going to be the key to kind of getting there. So trying not to look too far ahead of myself, but definitely want to win.
All right, Landon, we're at the turn. Detroit is 1 up, and I cannot even believe how back and forth it has been this entire match so far. Only 2 holes on the front 9 the teams actually pushed. Otherwise, it was just all back and forth, either Detroit or New York pulling out the win. Hole number 1 and hole number 3 were the only holes that finished all square, and the team has never been more than 1 up. Detroit has gone back and forth from being 1 up to all square all day.
That's bonkers. Yeah, the past 6 holes were just trading jabs. New York won, Detroit won, New York won, Detroit won, just back and forth. Hole 10, par 4. 407 delicious, handsome yards. What do they call this hole? Captain Flint. Tree guard the inside of the dog leg along the left edge of the fairway. Layup of it off the tee. Emma Carpenter, God bless me. I have just sneezed.
Oh, well, God bless you, Landon. Hole number 14, that par 5, 560 yards. Now that one, I don't know if it's quite as gettable as the one we saw on the front 9 hole. Number 16, par 4, 476 yards. This is lengthy, and it is a pretty sharp dog leg to the right. The players are going to need a real solid tee shot on this. From seeing the driver swings out of Detroit on the front 9, you can't help but think they're at a little bit of an advantage coming up to these holes that require such a phenomenal tee shot.
Another bomb drive from Team New York. What a great pass. He keeps that ball with his driver low, but is he put a hurt on it? Big, powerful cut swing there. Oh my goodness gracious! Whoa! Oh my!
What?
Oh my goodness! Oh my God! What in the world was that man
what
doing?
Did we just watch?
Like I just got hit by a Mack truck of power. God, save some for the rest of us. What a cod swain. Am I right, Emma Carpenter?
338 yard carry? Is that what I read?
Uh-huh.
Rolling out to 360.
I need a new pair of shorts, Emma Carpenter. Whose
And
goodness,
this
I think
is-
I've soiled my last pair. What an
Wow.
absolute specimen of a man.
That is miraculous. I cannot even believe that. And dead straight on a string,
No, I'll just-
finding the skinniest part of the fairway.
I'll say it, Emma Carpenter. When I mean this with every bone in my body. I think if I grew up that guy, I think my dad wouldn't have left. I'm serious. I said it. What a specimen of a man. Goodness.
Wow.
Another big drive, but only 320, says Mr. 360. Let's have a karate match in my basement. You know what I mean, Emma?
I don't know if I do, Landon. I really don't. Sometimes I know what you mean, and sometimes I don't, and that's okay.
It is okay, Emma Carpenter. You know what they said back in the 70s? It's hip to be square. Sometimes that's just good enough, Emma.
Oh, I see.
I knew you would eventually. Be a nice buttery pass out of James. Old married boy James, they're calling him at the docks. Spends all his free time as an amateur tugboat enthusiast. It's a weird hobby to have, but he says, mind your own business. What are you doing in my house? Tons of forward shaftling. He's gonna pinch the bejesus out of it, get in between his club and your finger, and you're gonna end up with a blood blister because he's a pincher of the golf ball. Am I right, Emma Carpenter? Am I right?
Landon, here is the man of the hour, Francisco, who just hit a 360-yard drive. I can't even believe that number just left my mouth. That is so unbelievably long.
So was his.
Unfortunately, doesn't hit the green.
The only thing longer than that man's drives are his chips. That is not what you want to be known for, folks. Whoops-a-daisies. I'm sure he's staying in
Sometimes-
your head.
Sometimes you just gotta laugh it off, Landon. It happens.
Oh my God. Just got the pin seeker achievement on Call of Duty by rattling that thing like an old rattlesnake out in the West.
Talk to me, Ben.
You ever seen a rattlesnake in real life? Emma?
I have at the zoo.
Show enough. Can't be the only one curious out there if Emma Carpenter's ever seen a rattlesnake. Famous female golf personalities such as yourself. Here they are. Living their best life, just like Team Handsome draw. Not only can he hit a 400-yard drive, but he's got a little skirt game to back it up.
What a recovery.
For
A 360-yard drive, then miss the green from 45 yards, and then chip it in for your birdie. He definitely earned that birdie after that tee ball.
You know what my dad said before he left, Emma Carpenter, and that was, there are no pictures on a scorecard. He's thankful for that because the only score that he's writing down is not a picture of the muscles that he must have flexing in front of the mirror every morning. I know I certainly would if I could hit a drive like that. But no, drawing a picture of that bombastic drive. He's just going to be drawing a 3 with a circle around it. Am I right, Emma Carpenter?
You're sure right about that. 3 with a circle on it. Something we love to see.
Unless you're on a par 3 and you just really love circles.
We got another birdie putt, Landon, from Doug Pyeth. Go 20 feet right to left, breaker for birdie.
Get up and get in, you goofball. Ouch. That's embarrassing, and he's mad. You might see a putter toss here. He might throw it into a group of senior citizens or something comical. But he doesn't. He is able to hold on to the deep rage that lives just bubbling below the surface. Every fiber of his being. He does midnight karate, basement, punching it in a mirror. He gets up a nice soapy lathery sweat. Says, "You're the man."
Ooh.
That is why he made that far. Because he cares and he knows karate.
I don't know if he knows karate, Landon, but I know that he's definitely pleased to have made that putt because that will be a Detroit win on this hole. This is hole number 11, par 5, 562 yards. These par 5s are going to be, again, very advantageous for Team Detroit, which is now 2 up. 562. I mean, if you can hit your driver 340, then this is definitely makes this hole gettable. But look at all of that sand. You definitely don't want to find yourself in one of those early bunkers on the short right, unless you want a 30 to 40 yard bunker shot, which is no fun. Here he is, Francisco.
Uh-oh.
Going up
No,
and
he
over
doesn't.
the dog leg.
What does this kid eat? Goodness. Are you not impressed? Does he duct tape it or use some sort of bungee cord? We'll never know what happens with the XM. God, that man pipes the golf ball.
366 yards? Have you seen that before? And
Sure,
not on the long
Carpenter.
drive?
Yeah, you bet. You bet. We've all seen it. We've all done it, Emma. But we've never done it here on the GOLFZON Tour. That man knows how to take the cover surgically off a golf ball. He just picks it up and places it down. I don't think we're going to see a 6-foot drive here, but it probably will be a dead bullet at the center of the fairway like all of her drives are. She doesn't miss. She doesn't miss. Somehow 7 over, though. Do you believe that, Emma?
That's definitely what's been interesting about this Detroit team, Landon. They know how to make birdies, but they also know how to make bogeys. So
Good.
if they just keep on this birdie train,
378 yards, I think I just saw there. Begging for it to go get down. Jeez. What in the world are they eating? They just store a ton of power during the lag. I'd love to see a slow motion of those two drivers golf swing side by side, because wow. Luckily, with GOLFZON simulators, you can see slow motion replays. Saw it up there in the upper right-hand corner, saw the club path, saw the type of contact that it has on the golf ball. Also, golf simulators use photo technology, high-speed cameras, 400 frames a second, to capture the golfer's swing in
Landon,
club data and ball data.
could you imagine hitting the golf ball 320 yards consistently and hitting it 30 to 50 yards shorter than your teammates?
No, that is something that I could not comprehend. Yeah, that would be severely emasculating.
But you're hitting it 320. Like, you are hitting it objectively a long ways.
Yeah, well, some of us like to compare ourselves to Chihuahuas, and some of us like to compare ourselves to Great Danes, Emma Carpenter. And I certainly want to be compared to the greatest that have ever done the thing that I'm trying to do, not settle for mediocrity, like it sounds like you're willing to settle for, Emma Carpenter.
I never said exactly that, but I will say this, Landon. I will say this. Brandon Barrows, 10.8 feet left for eagle. What do you think of that?
I mean, when you have a flip wedge into a par 5, you would hope so. I mean, these guys are just letting the golf course know their middle name and asking them to leave something on their bedside table for when they leave in the morning. You know what I mean, Emma Carpenter?
I don't know if I do know what you mean on that one, Landon.
I think you do, Emma, and it's totally fine. You're allowed to.
You give me permission to?
Yeah, and you have my permission, and you needed that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah.
Got it.
That's what suffrage was about, Emma Carpenter. Very tasty chip there. But puts a little bit too much pepper in the chili. Ends up tragically short. Eagle chip chance. He hits spinny little chip.
Oh my gosh! The first eagle of the match comes from Doug Piesco. And his teammates still have short eagle putts as well.
Yeah, we may see eagle. Another eagle chance up here. He's gonna miss it though. Long and to the right.
No,
But that is a
Landon,
hard chip to judge. My goodness, that thing came out zippy.
Now, Landon, we have seen Eagle Birdie on the Golf Zone Tour. We have not seen Eagle.
Have we
And
not? Not
Lloyd
once?
has a really good chance at this. We have not.
No, I just feel like we have seen eagle. Why do I feel that way?
I don't know, Landon.
I'm sure I'm wrong. Oh, could it be? No. And Franpa. I like that name. Don't know why. Just makes me giggle, Emma. Not sure why my brain's wired the way it is.
And Franpa hitting the ball 360 yards. When I hear Franpa, I think Grandpa.
This is for Eagle. Oh. Caught a bit of the edge. Oh, birdie out of New York. They needed them to miss, but it will just be a kick-in birdie. So we're going to go Eagle birdie, aren't we? And that might be Detroit's hole. It was. So they are in for Eagle birdie. Detroit won the hole. There's nothing that Team New York can do short of getting a time machine, getting the flux capacitor with 21 gigawatts of electricity, and going back in time and murdering the team, or possibly just convincing them to quit.
Landon, how about a back-to-back-to-back win for Team Detroit on holes 9, 10, and 11? They're now 3 up with 7 holes left to play. Just 1 up at the turn, and those wins on 10 and 11 definitely puts them in the driver's seat, moving to the home stretch of this match. Let's take a look at hole number 12. Tell me about it, Landon.
Skeleton Island, it's 178 tiny little yards. Although the forest obscures the view, this hole does actually face the ocean. Attempting to underclub this downhill tee shot. It's got a pond in front of it, so check which way the moss is pointing, the trees above you, to get a handle of the wind. What a smart way to get a prevailing wind direction. And by looking at the moss in the trees, great approach shot there. Well, Carpenter, I know that you're a drawer of the golf ball. Does that pond freak you out?
Well, it shouldn't, Landon, especially with the way that the green is pitched, because if I were to miss it left, it would be long left, and the longer you carry it, the further left it would need to be to find the water. James Swagger finding that water is certainly not what Team New York was looking for, but how about his fiance stepping up and hitting that golf shot? Wow, that was clutch.
Beautiful shot. Look at this thing spin back, getting better by the second. That's what you want. Golf ball to just seem like it's on a heat-seeking missile to go into the bottom of the cup, and that was a beautiful shot.
Yeah, well, also a beautiful shot from Francisco in Detroit just to back it up. But for me personally, Landon, I think that I would aim right at that bunker that's sitting up on the hill, just right of the flag, and just let it stay straight. If it draws to the pin, great. Stays
All great
there.
shots.
Push. You push a little bit, it's perfect, but wow. Another great shot from Brandon Barrows. I mean, come on.
I'm loving the excitement out of Team Detroit. They seem like a group of guys that they like to get a little rowdy sometimes, okay? Look, I'm not saying that they haven't had their fair share of run-ins with the law enforcement and, the neighborhood farmer with his shotgun and his ill-tempered Rottweiler, but they also have a good time in a respectable way when they're playing golf. And right now they're just jostling each other and having a nice time and encouraging each other to all have a good time with one another, some fellowship and some golf. And Team New York is a little more stoic, a little more put together, a little bit more Princeton. You know what I mean, Emma Carpenter?
I sure do. Definitely Team Detroit is celebrating heavy, which is exciting to see. When you think about on Team New York, you have Alexis Eos. She played college golf. So did Ashlyn Ramsey. She played college golf and professional golf. Now, James Swagger did not play college golf, but all that competitive golf experience, it gives you a little bit more of a demeanor in these situations. You try to stay even keeled. You try to never let your emotions get too high or too low. But this team from Detroit, they are just on fire, and they seem to be feeding off of each other.
Fun when you're feeding off of teammates, right, Emma Carpenter? Did you like that sort of aspect of team golf?
Definitely. Now, this situation is a little bit different than playing on a college golf team because you're actually all out on the golf course on different holes ahead of and behind each other, so you don't know exactly how you're playing.
We saw something off camera, Carpenter. But on camera, we saw Detroit just roll the rock right in for birdie. I interrupted your story, Emma Carpenter. Beg your
No need to be, no problem at all. I thought maybe that you saw something that I didn't in the match that was happening. This is a big putt from Alexis. Got to have this one, and the birdie will be the low for both teams. A little bit anticlimactic when you roll in a short birdie putt and it's not going to be good enough to win you the hole. Looks like they're enjoying some appetizers from the GOLFZON Social, though, Landon.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? They have great appetizers there. They got a great full menu and a full bar. Come hungry, leave drunk, and full, and slightly better golf.
For the win.
Backdoor. Are they dormy now, Emma Carpenter?
Not quite dormy. Team Detroit is now 4 up. There's 6 holes left to play. So a win on the next hole would make New York dormy. But gosh, New York is going to have to really do something special to get back into this match.
I don't know if they have it in.
My grandparents owned a golf course, so I've been fortunate enough to play golf pretty much my entire life.
Played high school golf, a couple years of college golf, and then kind of took 15 years or so away from the game. Played maybe a couple times a year. And then with COVID, like a lot of others, picked the game back up.
I shot a 2 under in the qualifier, miraculously, because it went from 10 over, 12 over. It was getting worse, and then I just somehow miraculously snuck in there. I'm apparently one of the best in Michigan now. Who knew?
I've turned pro in 2016. Played mini tours since then. Right now I'm just playing tournaments here and there in the summer and practicing when I can. So
We only have 6 or 7 months out of the year to play in Michigan, and those 5 extra months that we can come up to the simulators and practice and keep the swing in a groove always helps the golf game.
With repetition, getting some additional rounds under my belt, I think just practice, I wouldn't say makes perfect, but certainly makes an improvement in my case. It's definitely pretty comparable to just normal tournaments. I think you still get the same kind of feeling during the round as you would like an outdoor event.
It's right up there. Obviously, you've got state by state, the best of the best. So I definitely feel the pressure, but I'm really excited because I love competing.
We did get that first round bye, so that shows a lot about our team.
We got some great players. I know it's a team format, and everyone's got to play and do their jobs, but we've got a good team, and we're excited to get down to the sun in Florida.
Everybody's back on the tee now. This beautiful dogleg left. Our 460 yards. Emma, you want to run us through this one? Tom Morgan?
Of course, Landon. I would absolutely love to. 460 yards. Tom Morgan. You don't notice just how uphill this hole plays until you reach the green and look back at the tee box. The back half of this elevated green also slopes steeply towards the front. So pitch is severely back to front. It's an uphill hole, already 460, so definitely not short, but seems to be every hole is short for these guys in Detroit.
How far is Detroit going to drive this ball? Think he's going to try to put the love of Jesus into it?
I don't see why not.
Oh my God.
Wow, it doesn't even look hard.
He is a specimen to behold. I wonder what cage he escaped from. That was just a tiny little 300-yard drive by him that time. He must have caught it low on the face.
He must have hit it off the hosel. Only 300 yards. Must have hit it straight off the hosey.
Jeez. You think he was just trying to find the fairway there and he had, oh my God, no, that guy just got after it. Wow. To have that much club speed and that much accuracy, I feel like there's some type of rivalry between these two. How fast was his club speed, mind you? PGA Tour Pro average is around anywhere between 119 and 121. His club speed, 132. That is how you hit 360-yard drives, folks.
That is sensational. I can't even believe that.
They all swing out of their socks and all just drill it down the center. You got some kind of cheat code on their simulator because they are hitting just rocket bombs.
And I think that it's really setting up well for them at Spyglass Hill because they're out driving a lot of the trouble.
100%.
They're hitting the golf ball so straight, so they're finding the fairways. But when there's no bunkers in play for them because they're carrying them, when we're seeing Team New York come up to the lips of the bunkers, find themselves in the bunkers, Team Detroit is just pounding it past all of the trouble.
Be wild if we went Dormy. It would be the first blowout that we've seen on the Golf Zone Tour. We were expecting early round blowouts. We were expecting the number 1 seed team, when they got their buys to come through, there'd be blowouts, but it's been tooth and nail almost every single match. A couple of our matches going into overtime, but doesn't look to be the way that this one's heading. I'd like to see a blowout. I think it'd be kind of cool. See Team Detroit flexing their muscles a little bit.
Landon, it's almost tough to believe watching this team that they made par bogey on the first hole, because ever since then it's just been birdie after birdie after birdie with a few eagles, or I suppose I should say just one eagle, but eagle mixed in there as well. I said that we saw early on, on the second hole that this team is capable of making lots of birdies, but not only have they kept it up, they've just stepped it up, and they are playing even better.
In Detroit, real nice pass. Begging for it to sit. See if it does. Oh, it does sit. He'll have a birdie putt. Team Detroit can beat Dormy after this hole. That'd be cool to see. We need to chip this in for a birdie. No, but a zippy little chip, which he gets to stop. Gonna just have a small little 3.5 foot putt for par. Real nice par save there. Nice little loop-de-doop golf swing. Let's see if this thing bites. It's gonna have to bite hard and spin. He only got one of the two. That's too bad. That was a real nice pass.
And we do know, Landon, that this green is pitched so severely back to front, so those putts from behind the flag are not easy.
No putt at Spyglass is. Let's see if he can't get a chip in here from Franpa. And I believe in you, Franpa. Saw a chip in from his teammate a couple of holes ago. That was pretty dope. Maybe try to save this one himself. Lots of forward shaft lean. He has a lot of supination of that lead hand. And it does get balls to zip and stop. Very nice. Should be a par save. Am I right, Emma?
It should be, Landon. Now, we do have a birdie putt upcoming. Pretty good bunker shot from Ashlyn Ramsey. She's hit a lot of those green-shide bunker shots today, and she's been pretty money with them. This 22 feet from...
Dive. Farts.
We knew this putt was fast.
Worse getting worser.
Little pizza left in that box, Landon.
I love pizza. I'm a Carpenter. Everybody knows it.
Me too. I would say pizza's my favorite food.
Is that right?
It is as generic as it sounds. I wouldn't say I'm super proud, but I'm just telling the truth.
What is your pizza order, Emma?
Ooh. I would say personally, as we watch this birdie putt from Doug Piesco.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah, you bet. Who is it? I am.
We should be asking him what his favorite pizza order is, Landon. Mine personally would be like a pepperoni hot honey jalapeno pizza.
What?
Oh, yes.
Are you from Thailand? What a goofy pizza order, Emma Carpenter. Say that again.
Not at all. You've never had hot honey on your pizza?
Huge par birdie. That could be, we could be dormy, Emma Carpenter. That's it. That's a Detroit
Seals
W.
the deal, Landon. Birdie par out of Detroit. They will go 5 up with 5 holes to play.
What a swing. Never a doubt.
Nail in the coffin.
Never a doubt. It's a Detroit dub.
Bringing GOLFZON technology to the New York City market is really exciting. Technology is going to continue to have a massive impact in the golf industry.
I think for a commercial setting, the GOLFZON simulator really is the best between the auto tee and the moving plates, the graphics and the functionality of the system. People just love to come out and see it. It's just nothing like they've ever experienced before. I truly believe the technology of indoor golf, the simulators that we have, give players a significant advantage.
We have players that come in consistently to practice, and they tell us that it's translated into their outdoor game.
If you can keep playing all year long, you don't have that lull where you stop playing after the summer, and you can keep swinging and you can keep working at it, you are going to be a better player. Period, end of story. I know it's happened for me. I've seen it happen for many others.
Even those number of our guests that have been to other facilities with other companies, when they come in and see the level of our technology, it absolutely blows them away. When they experience the move-in swing plate, we have 5 different surfaces they can play from. The camera-based system, the graphics.
That creates a really cool experience that people maybe haven't seen before.
And I think that just gives us a really great sense of accomplishment.
We are now dormy. What does that mean for those of you out there that have become knitting enthusiasts during COVID and have no idea what's going on in golf? I'll tell you, but first we got to talk about hole 14. Par 5, 560 short yards, I'm sure Emma Carpenter would say. The fairway undulates from left to right, then right to left. Double breaker, double dog leg. Those are fun par 5s because it's hard to reach into. You got a pond over there to the right. You got 3 ball-shaped sand traps guarding the green. We are dormy, folks, and I never got to tell you what that means if you're not too into golf. Dormy means that unless New York wins the next 5 holes straight, not pushes, they have to win the next 5 straight holes. Detroit's walking away one step closer to how much money, Emma Carpenter?
150,000 big ones, Landon.
Cuckoo bananas and also bonkers. What would you do with 150,000 smackers?
That's a good question. I don't know. I would have to think about it. I would definitely want to donate part of it, if not all of it. How about that drive from Francisco?
131 club speed, and she rips the ball too. A high buttery cut out of her. I wonder what her ball speed was. That was a smash drive.
Oh yeah, carried nearly 230 yards.
I think her center head speed was 113. God, this is just bigly. What in the world? No, he caught a spinner. 131 club speed. Jeez. I really want to see these guys swings in slow motion.
They are just overpowering the golf course, Landon. It's really tough to keep up. Team New York is not playing poorly. They're making some pars, some birdies here and there, but I mean, these guys out of Detroit are just completely overpowering the golf course.
Yeah, but they're overpowering it long and straight. I mean, they're not hitting giant snap hooks. Oh, this could be on a rope. See how it sits.
Oh
yeah.
My
Eagle putt.
gosh.
New phone, who this? This eagle putt. Give me your lunch money, nerd.
A 560-yard double dog leg. Doug Piesco steps up with an iron and hits it on a string. That green isn't even deep. It's fairly shallow, Landon.
That guy's an absolute specimen of a human being. Folks out there, take notes. This is how you get your dad back. You know what I mean, Emma Carpenter? Oh my gosh. What are these units of human beings? 2 eagle putts.
Oh my goodness.
What do you want? What do you want out of your weekend, folks? You want to watch this match, see Team Detroit absolutely panhandle the retirement fund out of this golf course. Am I right, Emma Carpenter?
You're right about that. I think that this match may be all but over. New York is going to really have to do something spectacular to stay in this match, given that they need to win this hole to stay in the GOLFZON Tour.
Get legs, you handsome gentlemen. And it doesn't. Called for it. Couldn't get it to obey, and that is going to end up tragically short. Emma Carpenter, remind me just what in the world happened? Where did this flip-flop? Where did the train leave the tracks?
Landon, it was all square through 8 holes. All square through 8 holes. So, I mean, 5 holes ago, it was all square. It was anybody's game. At the turn, Detroit was 1 up. It's still anybody's match, but they have won 5 consecutive holes and now step up here with 2 eagle putts and an eagle chip that we just saw. But I can't even believe the level of golf that we have seen over this last stretch of holes. It's been remarkable.
Yeah, it's been cuckoo bananas and bonkers. Really nice approach there. You know, and the weird thing is we've been seeing bonkers golf, but the best score out there is only 1 under. Like, what? We've been seeing eagles and birdies fall everywhere, and the best score is 1 under. Like, well, that's
really
bonkers to me.
surprising. It really is.
And we're talking about Detroit just playing all this lights out golf, and the best score on the board's 1 under. Like, what in the world? Team New York gets a tragic lip out. They needed that putt to fall real bad. God, praying this ball goes in for Team Detroit. That would be an awesome,
Look at
awesome.
how much this is breaking
Eagle.
from 10.87 feet for Eagle. Oh, wow.
Oh, I wanted that for him, and I think he wanted it for himself. Not only let down me, he let down himself. That's almost worse.
Yeah, Ashlyn Ramsey
And
for her birdie.
I would say almost everything from New York is a must make, you know? Because even if they push, they win. That is Dormy. Nope, not going to do it. I just can't imagine a world where New York pulls this one out. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when at this point, folks. Oh, with that putt, that could have been the nail in the coffin. Blocked artery to the heart.
Oh, no. Oh, Alexis Eos had the best shot in here in terms of length and birdie regulation. She had 4 feet for birdie, did not roll it in. This putt to win the match.
That's it.
4. He cans it.
That is a triumphant Detroit win. All square through 9 holes and just places the hammer of Thor directly on the chest of the other team to get one step closer to the near finals of the GOLFZON Tour, playing for $150,000 cash in Orlando, Florida. God bless their heart, Emma Carpenter. Have we seen this type of work out of Team Detroit before?
I don't think that we've seen this kind of work and this kind of play out of any team on the GOLFZON Tour thus far. We really have seen some phenomenal golf, but this level of dominance to win 6 and 4, this is the biggest win that we have seen so far on the tour. I cannot even fathom how impressive some of these golf swings were, Landon.
Yeah, they were beautiful, and they were strong. Big hip turns, big shoulder turns, big explosion. There's a first gigantic drive of the absolute specimen of a human being. Yeah, he's saying, I ride a horse. I know what a Ford engine block looks like. See a little eagle chip in, lifted on the left side. Tidy little high fives all around. What do you expect? Beautiful putt. And that was the birdie that was the nail in the coffin, and this sealed the deal. So you just saw just what Team Detroit did to Team New York. Somebody called the cops. There's been a murder. Am I right, Emma Carpenter?
Landon, I think what's so impressive about this win was that it was not just 2 players, wasn't 1, wasn't 2, it was all 3 of these players who contributed to this win, and that is what made it just so dominant, Landon. The ball striking out of Detroit is just, I am simply at a loss for words. I cannot even explain to you how impressed I was with the golf swings, with the ball striking, with the length and the accuracy from Team Detroit. What were you thinking as you were watching this match today?
Emma Carpenter, that must have been a mind meld, because that was the exact same thing that I was thinking. Long and straight is Tonto's arrow, to reference Native American Indian culture, of which I am a proponent of. Emma Carpenter, I think that's going to do it for us here. Thank you guys for tuning into the GOLFZON Tour. Emma Carpenter, why don't you toss her away?
Absolutely, Landon. Thank you very much for your incredible commentary. As always, my name's Emma Carpenter. Also joined by Landon Ashworth. This is the Golf Zone Tour. We will see you next time. Thank you for tuning in today.